I want to see them up in flames. I wanted to see these actors paying for their crimes, you know?
Every movie needs to have this where at the end of the movie there's a big scene where people get killed off or destroyed.
Yeah, stepped on.
And depending how bad your acting was, relates to the punishment you get.
Hey everyone, we're back for Podzilla Season 4, Episode 1. We're starting off a new era of Podzilla where we're not just watching every Godzilla movie in order of release date, because we've already done it. We're watching every Gamera movie at the moment in order of release date. And I'm Jasha, here with my brother Micah.
Hey, that's me. Get Godzilla out of here. I do not want to see him.
We are currently recording live from G-Force space station where they've positioned us, kind of left us. They've just left us to be stuck here out in space. But we're going to make the best of a bad situation. We've found these Gamera VHSs that they conveniently hid away on this ship. And we're going to watch through them. We're going to continue Podzilla Ever Onward.
Ever Onward is such a good movie name.
Ever Onward. Into the ever on. What's the Into the ever. Yeah, Ever Onward. Good movie name.
Godzilla Ever On. No, sorry. Gamera Ever Onward.
Gamera Ever Onward. And I mean, we talked about it if you listen to our intro yet, but yeah, that's what this season's going to be. We're going through all the Gamera, then we're going to go through all of Daimajin, then we're going to go through all of Yokai Monsters. The three main franchises in Daiei?
Daiei.
The Daiei company, which was kind of a sister company to Toho in Japan.
You don't know what a sister company is.
A spiritual.
What is a sister? What is a sister company?
A spiritual sister company.
A sister company is something that's owned by the larger company.
Yeah, it's a spiritual one.
But it's a separate thing.
It's like Toho was making Godzilla movies. Daiei saw that and were like, hey, we need to make some giant monster movies. Let's do it with the turtle.
It's like Coke and Sprite. They're both owned by the same Coca-Cola company.
But you'd call them spiritual sisters.
No.
Right? I think I'm making sense.
Then you got to stop making sense, please.
And I think the three franchises have connections between one another. I'm sure we'll get into it when we get to the actual movies, but Daimajin was originally supposed to be a Gamera villain before he got his own series. I think Daimajin makes an appearance in one of the Yokai Monster movies.
So really this is the Daiei season.
This is the season of Daiei, the year of Daiei. Yeah.
And just to put it out there, look, if you're a long-time listener of the show, we have changed our ways. This isn't Gamera. We aren't watching Gamera here.
Gamera is the only way that sounds right. I don't know how we ever used to say Gamera.
Gamera.
Daiei. Daiei's Gamera. That's what we're covering today. Gamera the Giant Monster, Micah, 1965. And neither of us have seen anything.
You haven't seen any Gamera?
Gamera?
Gamera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
gosh, it's going to take a while.
I mean, when we started off Podzilla, we were watching through the Godzilla movies together. I had seen majority of them. You'd seen a handful, but now we're in uncharted territory. Neither of us have seen any Gamera movies, Daimajin movies, Yokai Monsters movies, and I'm actually really excited for it.
So you're telling me that if I quickly go and watch Gamera Rebirth on Netflix, I will be more like the mentor that you were to me when we were going through Godzilla.
Yeah.
I can be the Gamera expert leading you through this journey.
You probably are the Gamera expert at the moment because, I mean...
Come on, let's talk about it.
This whole season is still kind of Godzilla adjacent. Gamera and Godzilla both appear together in Godzilla Battle Line.
That's the most recent and probably most official
Gamera is
collaboration together.
A Godzilla monster.
Which is wild that it happened. There was an official stage production that happened way back in the 1900s where Godzilla and Gamera both played parts in it. But that has been really lost to time with only 2 pictures out there on the internet. Yeah, it's been wild that they haven't had a proper collaboration in a good long while. I think, like you said,
Was there a cancelled movie?
There was a cancelled movie during one of the Heisei eras. It's going to be weird having a Heisei and Showa era for this as well.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, you are the mentor here, right? You've played more Battle Line than I have.
I have.
So you've technically seen more of Gamera than I have.
I have seen more of Gamera than you have.
But yeah, I'm really excited to jump into this. And you guys, listeners, if you'd love to jump along for the ride, we're going to do the same thing we've done for all the Godzilla movies. Each week we'll be going through them and we will be spotlighting your guys' reviews and your emails. But even if you wanted to send in things similar to kind of our Q&A, AMA we had, like, we'd just love to hear from you week after week. So
yep, anything you sent in doesn't even have to really be related to the movie that we're covering. If you want to know how Jaisha gets his mustache so flippin' good looking, let us know.
Yeah, honestly, podzillapod@gmail.com. We can't promise we'll cover everything that's sent, but we'll try and specifically spotlight a few emails or reviews every single week. So, I mean, I'm excited for this journey. Why don't we just get started?
Jason, you know what I'm excited for?
What?
Gamera, the giant monster.
That's what we watched today, 1965, directed by Noriaki Yuasa. Micah, you're doing synopsises this season. Do you want to bring us in?
You're not ready for these synopses, bro. When an unidentified stealth aircraft carrying nuclear weapons crashes into an icy plain in the Arctic, a giant bipedal turtle emerges. Slowly, around the world, multiple accounts of fiery flying saucers are seen, all of which are misidentified accounts of Gamera, the giant monster. Gamera soon makes it clear that he is not a turtle to be reckoned with. Striking villages on the outer islands of Japan and attacking power plants, the Japanese self-defense forces come to the conclusion that Gamera carries within him an internal furnace, leading him to consume vast amounts of inorganic materials or risk death from starvation. Gamera escapes every trap the defense force lays for him. High-tension electric wires, experimental cadmium freezing bombs, and even flipping him onto the back of his shell, nothing seems to stop the beast. Japan instead pivots to trying to feed the creature, keeping him occupied until the Z-Plan is prepared. What is the Z-Plan, you ask? We don't know. No one knows. Not until the film's final moments, where Gamera is led by towers of flames to a launching platform, where he is swallowed up by a capsule that is then shot into space. Z-Plan, a complete success. While Gamera could not be vanquished on Earth, the world is now safe from his terror as he is banished to the barren plains of Mars.
Nice. Who would have thought Gamera would be in space in the first Gamera movie?
I still don't know. Is he an alien?
No, they said in the movie that he was from Atlantis, right? He was a Chelonian from Atlantis?
Yeah. I mean, we all know about the Chelonians.
Yeah. Huge turtle things, huge reptiles. It is so interesting because you watch this movie, it's filmed in black and white, it's very reminiscent of the Showa era. It's a Showa era movie. And can I just say, I've missed this era.
I've missed seeing like miniature planes and explosions. Man. People in suits.
Yep. Oh. It's amazing stuff. But you're impressed by it. And yet at the same time, in my mind, the whole movie was like, this is coming out in 1965, more than 10 years after the original Godzilla, after even like Ghidorah the three-headed monster and heaps of those Showa era films. It makes it a bit less impressive, but still really cool.
Yeah, like coming into this Gamera universe, you do have to go in with the mindset that this is practically copied off of the success of Godzilla.
Yeah.
By the Daiei company. And so it's seen what Godzilla's done right, and it's trying to emulate that. So, like, right off the bat, I was actually surprised that in the first movie, Gamera is, this destructive beast. Mm-hmm. I thought straight off the bat he was going to be guardian of the universe, saving kids, friend to all. And like there are aspects of this movie where that kind of comes through, but for the main part, he's just going around eating everything, destroying everything.
Yeah, it's got your classic Showa era reporters and then scientists and then the army. which is like half of where this movie dedicates its time to. But the other half of that movie is still dedicated to, is it Toshio?
Toshio, yeah.
Toshio, this little kid who just loves turtles and thinks that Gamera is the coolest guy ever.
He can't get enough of turtles. It's so funny. I thought that he would have had some connection to Gamera from the start, because you're seeing him drawing these pictures of multiple turtles that look like they're flying through the air.
Yeah.
But now he just loves turtles.
This kid, Toshio, loves turtles so much that his sister's like, Toshio, you love turtles so much it's unhealthy. You know, one day you're just going to hate humans because you love turtles so much. So please go and release your turtles to the wild.
If you had a child who loved turtles, who went to school, wouldn't talk to any friends, any other children, because he's too focused on his turtle that he brings to school every day, you're not going to come to any other conclusion.
Micah, the loving turtles to hating humanity pipeline. It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It's fast once you're in there.
So yeah, we got him with his little pet turtle called Pee-wee, who he calls Chibi.
Chibi. It's the same like word essentially translated between the two.
So they just, is this turtle being called Chibi, and then the translators, when doing like the subtitles, they were just like, he's kind of meaning something.
Yeah.
Pee-wee.
You could choose a few words. You could be like, I don't know, little cutie, little guy.
Little guy is what Chibi means?
Yeah.
Super deformed? He's calling his turtle super deformed?
Canonically, his name's super deformed. He ends up losing his turtle. He lets it go free. And even though he tries to come back and find it again, he believes that Pee-wee is Gamera.
Yeah. And it's funny because I've heard this more than anything about the Gamera franchise, is that each of these movies focus on the children a lot, where in the Showa era, especially the Champion era of the Showa era, that kind of stuff, when we got Ichiro and All Monsters Attack, like Godzilla dabbled in a little bit, but from what I've heard, Gamera goes straight there for most of these movies.
Oh, are we going to have a Gamera counter now?
Did I say Gamera?
Yeah, we're going to.
Oh, Bing. No. So, I mean, what did you think overall of having a little kid as one of the focal points? You like
having
it?
a little kid? I do like it. It's been a while since I've had a little kid representation in my movies and my shows.
Yoshiro Uchida was his name. He did a good job.
He did a good job. He was. I just couldn't get over him in the final act, though.
I couldn't get over him the whole movie. His actions he does.
It's funny though. He is like a proper main character for this movie, and he is just there whenever Gamera is destroying everything. He climbs up this lighthouse that Gamera is full on destroying.
Yeah.
And even though Gamera catches him before he hits the ground, he still attacked the lighthouse.
Yeah. Is Gamera really the friend to all children if he first destroys wherever these children are before he saves the children? You know?
And like there's a point later on where the Japan Defense Force is just sending all of these trains jam-packed with explosives towards Gamera. I was going to say Ichiro jumps on there. No, Toshio jumps on there and is about to meet his sweet death.
Yeah.
He is under so many delusions.
This kid who thinks he's just watching a giant Pee-wee walking around town. Yeah. I found the Toshio stuff pretty entertaining compared to the reporter stuff, because our other main characters are Dr. Hidaki, who's this zoologist, and he's got
classic zoologist,
classic Showa era zoologist, you know. And then we've got a reporter and a photographer that are alongside him. This reporter, this lady, I can't remember her name, doesn't really do anything at all.
She's the lucky charm for the photographer.
And then the photographer's whole thing is that because he wanted to go out with her and be the photographer when they went to Antarctica or Alaska or wherever they went, she saved his life because he wasn't on the boat that got destroyed. He was with her instead. Yeah. So the whole movie, he's just calling her his goddess.
It's funny because I feel like the Showa era of Godzilla, and I'd say the wider movies around that time that we saw, you do get a lot of so many characters being in the movie that just don't really need to be there. Like, can you name a single photo that this photographer took?
No, he didn't. He didn't do anything at all the whole movie until the end when he started the fire. This dude started the fire that killed Gamera. Didn't kill Gamera, but got Gamera into space in the end.
The reporter.
Yeah.
Did she do much?
Less than him.
The three of those just go around the place.
Exposition.
The exposition crew, for sure.
I mean, we get a literal scene halfway through the movie where Dr. Hidaki is like, whoa, hello there. This is Gamera. Gamera can do this and this. He eats fire. He's got like a nuclear power plant inside of him. He can fly. Just if you didn't know. He's like doing a big exposition dump, just like an update in case we weren't paying attention.
Grab your popcorn and drink some of that soda next to you because you're in for a real treat in the second half of this movie.
Great time now to go for a bathroom break before coming back because I'll get you up to date.
And that's not even to mention all the American actors. A staple of the show era.
Dude, these guys were the worst. These were the guys who were at the start of the movie in the Chidori Maru.
Yeah.
The boat.
Yeah.
And the stuff with the boat, again, it is super impressive. They've got this miniature boat that's breaking through ice. They've got all the like fighter planes above them. And you can see the strings on all these things. But it's still kind of enraptured me. I've definitely missed these kind of miniatures.
To be fair, we were watching on your Blu-ray collection of the Gamera movies.
The Arrow video collection, yeah.
So it's going to be high quality enough to see all the strings and the wires on this.
But the miniature stuff was cool. It's just unfortunate that in between all that, we cut to these Americans who, they don't even know their lines. They seem like they're drunk. I don't know what's going on.
They're forgetting the lines halfway through. There's one scene where a dude, he's like reading from a
report.
A report that was sent to them, but you can clearly tell he's just reading off his lines.
He's reading this report. He finishes reading the report, but his eyes are still darting onto the paper while he's supposed to be talking to someone else in the room. And it's, how do they hire these people?
And you'd think as well that if you get a report of a 200-foot giant turtle walking around and destroying your ships, you'd show just a little bit of emotion.
Yeah.
But he's got the best poker face I've ever seen.
And what's worse, what's more egregious than any of that, is that we don't even cut back to them when they're getting destroyed. We just see them stuffing up their lines, being terrible, and then we don't see any more of them. I wanted to see them up in flames. I wanted to see these actors paying for their crimes, you know?
Every movie needs to have this where at the end of the movie there's a big scene where people get killed off or destroyed.
Yeah, stepped on.
And depending how bad your acting was, relates to the punishment you get.
Yeah. What do you think of the Eskimo tribe that they come across?
Bro, they were legendary.
Mr. Chief?
Mr. Chief was...
I'm going to send Bungie a cease and desist for making Master Chief, who is clearly inspired by Mr. Chief.
There is a literal Mr. Chief character in the Halo franchise.
No, what? Separate to Master Chief? You're making this up.
Hold on. Little Halo tangent here. There was a fan character that was made and canonically like added as an AI into the game.
Oh, is that the one that looks real derpy, kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah.
Yep.
His name's Mr. Chief.
That's Mr. Chief.
Daiei.
Made after this movie, so
Yeah.
Mr. Chief copied off Mr. Chief.
I mean, suing and bringing legal teams into it still a sore subject for us here at Podzilla.
Yeah,
but
we don't talk
Daiei,
about legal teams.
Daiei, man, you guys should be suing Bungie, you know?
You've got the grounds for it.
We can't let them get away with this.
Nah. He was like what's that actor's name? Danny Trejo?
Danny Trejo, yes. The Mexican actor.
Yeah, that's basically Mr. Chief.
That was Mr. Chief.
I thought I recognized him from somehow. No, I loved that little bit of, like, you don't see that little village in the Arctic for that long during this movie, but it was cool to be there for a little bit.
Seeing the soundstage behind them, it really brought me back to why we love these movies.
Sound stages.
Yeah. I just want to see it.
I just want a soundstage.
Don't pretend like it's not there. Don't pretend you're actually in Antarctica. Just show me the soundstage, you know? To be honest, like, even though a lot of it looked fake, I was still enamored by a lot of the special effects in this movie, especially when it came to Gamera himself.
Yeah, can we talk about the man, the myth, the legend.
The super skinny turtle boy, Gamera.
He's so skinny.
He hardly has a shell.
It's wild going from, like, okay, to peel it all back real quick first. The first shot of Gamera, fantastic. When he's coming out of the ice,
and
fantastic.
We get Gamera pretty instantly. And again, it's similar to Godzilla, right? There's a giant prehistoric monster, an atomic bomb goes off, wakes him up, gives him radiation abilities.
Yeah, pretty much 1-to-1.
But it's an epic starting when he screeches, comes out of the ice, and then the title card comes in.
Yeah, it's like a staple for the kaiju genre. You have to have a shot of the kaiju just popping up and screaming. He sounds like Manila a good bit.
It's not a roar, it's a
scream.
It's a screech on this guy.
But yes, it's crazy going from Godzilla, who later on is known for having like insanely thick thighs and being quite a well-built dude, to Gamera, who's just the skinniest little piece of meat you could ever see.
He also doesn't really look like a turtle, right? Because turtles usually, their head and their arms and legs come specifically out of the shell. Whereas it looks like this guy has arms and legs coming almost out of his front, and he's just got a shell onto him that he still can go back into.
It's
very odd.
Actually, looking at Gamera, that's like a staple for him. Like he
doesn't come out of the shell. He's just got this shell-like structure on his back.
No, but whenever he goes into his shell to do his like propeller jet blast, he does like withdraw his limbs into his shell.
It's weird. I can't make sense of it. I can make nor head nor tail nor arms or legs out of
because
this guy.
They're all in the shell.
Because they're all in the shell.
Later on, it seems like he has a little bit more of a shell that he goes into.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a first iteration,
weird looking body.
It's just the fact that he's so flat as well. Like his shell is half a foot thick.
I don't know how they had suit actors in there. And I was doing some reading. Apparently, they were recruiting weightlifters to play Gamera. And
to just try and pad him out a little bit.
Yeah, but the suit was so heavy that they had to go through so many weightlifters. No one lasted more than a day of filming. But I seriously don't know.
How is that suit heavy?
Right? And I don't even know how they got weightlifters in there. Because when you see Gamera on his side, it's playing tricks with my mind. I can't figure out how anyone's skinny enough to be Gamera. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of the suit now, and it still doesn't make sense to me. Like there are some shots of the movie where you have different puppets or models or costumes. One of the bigger ones is whenever he's either spitting or consuming fire, it switches to a shot of his head, and he has this like crazy pipe mechanism in his back that acts as
in his back and his throat?
In the back of his throat, back of his mouth, sorry, where he has a little propellant and an ignition, like flame that just... It's great.
They don't try to hide it either, but it's still awesome. Whenever he's sucking in the fire and
they just reverse it.
It's reverse footage, but it looks so cool. I love this thing about Gamera is that anytime this dude sees fire, he needs to eat it.
Yeah. And seeing that, like, you get a little bit of inspiration from Varan, I feel, in there. Because in the latter half of this movie, they're using the fire to lead him toward where they want to go. Fully setting villages afire. A volcano erupts. I forgot about the volcano.
Yeah.
And in that last shot, just towers of flames. This guy can't keep his hands off of them.
Do you like Gamera overall, do you think? Like, we've seen all these Godzilla monsters, Godzilla himself. Where would you place this first iteration of Gamera? You think he's pretty cool?
The differentiating thing about him for me is the fact that he can go in his shell and fly around. Like there are a few shots of him just crashing this fiery spinning turtle meteorite into these buildings and causing so much destruction. Like I do like him. A total kaiju is awesome. It does feel a bit weird though whenever he is just walking around. He just looks a bit munted. I don't know.
Yeah, he does. He really does. But I kind of like him too. Even the whole feel for him, like the original Godzilla movie is very dark, and you see Godzilla's destruction, and he is made out to be this villain. Whereas in this, like, you don't specifically see people wallowing and crying, and it's made from the get-go. It's made out to be like Gamera is just this monster who's not really evil, but he just needs to consume fire and consume energy.
Yeah, the destruction is almost secondary to his need to consume.
And then you've got the subplot of this kid being like, hey, he saved my life. He's just a friend to all.
Yeah, I was having a little bit of trouble trying to pick up what they were getting at here, because I feel like the movie is trying to picture him as, yes, this very destructive being. People's lives are being lost, but he's not doing it intentionally. Like, you have that whole club of dancers who the building just gets caved on them.
Bro, Showa era musical numbers. Let's hope they keep it up.
It's right up there. But then you have Toshio, and his whole thing is that, like, while everybody else is wanting to lead him towards the island with fire so that they can get rid of him, he's all for Gamera. He's telling him to go away because no good's going to come to him. And, like, even when Gamera is fully destroying these buildings, you see little Toshio standing out on the balcony being like, man, hope Gamera doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah. And even the end of the movie, whereas the original Godzilla's was very, again, emotional, Serizawa sacrificing himself, Godzilla having to be destroyed by using this huge atomic bomb-like weapon on him. This ended on kind of like a nice note. Like, Toshio's like, wow, we sent Gamera to space. He's going to live out on Mars. I'm going to become a scientist one day so I can go see him. Like, it's not, it doesn't leave you with this like lasting, harrowing impression. It's more so like, cool.
Yeah. On one hand, right, I feel like it's a little bit unfair to compare this to the original Godzilla, but it is trying to emulate the original Godzilla.
Yeah.
And even though it's 10 years later, like, yeah, it's just, it leaves you with like, while Godzilla, the original 1954, it had a very clear vision of the tone it was trying to create, I feel like this tries to have the cake and eat it too. Try get across this quite, I wouldn't say it's darker, or I wouldn't even say it's necessarily a dark tone, but a bit more of a serious tone on one hand.
Yeah.
And then trying to play around with, hey, we're sending this giant turtle into space to Mars.
And it's wacky. He's flying around everywhere.
Yeah.
People are thinking he's Will-o'-the-wisps and UFOs. And
I think it leaves you with an impression that's a little bit less fully formed.
Yeah.
Or
it feels a bit messy.
It feels a bit muddled around. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. What would you think? Did you think it had a specific tone, or did you think it achieved the tone it was trying to create in your mind?
I don't think so. I mean, it didn't feel anywhere near as inventive or as iconic as those original Godzilla movies did. From the outset, they felt special. I don't know if this feels that way, or at least it didn't for me. And it kind of feels like formulaic, as you said. Like, it's picking all these pieces out of Godzilla's Showa era, putting them all together.
He's attacking the nuclear power plant. They're trying to bar him using the electric wires.
Yeah, exactly. Here's this professor, and then they meet a scientist, and they have a secret weapon. And it starts feeling a little bit derivative. Like, it's just like, oh, here we go.
Calling Gamera derivative. Wow.
But, I don't know. For like a first Gamera movie, it was all right. You know?
I'm real curious to see when this came out, was it met with widespread appeal?
It was.
Yeah. Just from the first movie.
Yeah, and it kickstarted the whole Gamera franchise. And again, Daimajin, and put Daiei into kind of this position to make more and more monster movies, which is interesting, eh? I've got one more note, and then I guess we can go into trivia if you wanted to.
Trivia? If I wanted to. No. If you want to.
If I want to. Oh, I'm back on the trivia card. But what did you think of something that happened multiple times during this movie where Gamera is destroying something, and then the scientists are like, wow, we happen to have this fully prepared, top secret scientific plan and invention that we can just use on Gamera if we wanted to.
Man, if only we could freeze Gamera somehow.
We
actually do have these cadmium bombs, 3 of them, which have just gotten out of their experimental phase.
And then like, oh, Gamera survived that? Well, we actually have top secret Z plan on this island.
Was a Z plan like established prior to Gamera? It was made out to be something that was already in the works.
It sounded like scientists all over the world had this secret island they were using for scientific experiments. It just happened to have a spaceship on it, you know?
This giant Gamera-sized space capsule.
It's very like, it's the Beast Glove from Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah.
But to the extreme, where every situation with Gamera, like they're not needing to use any ingenuity here or be inventive in the movie. We don't see characters having to struggle and deal with what we see in -1, right? Like they have to actually come up with a plan and hope it works. It's more so like, oh, we just have all these weapons.
Yeah, very coincidental.
Let's throw it all at them.
You know what I would love to see someday is a kaiju movie, a monster movie, where you're following this group of characters and sure, make them have a lot of traps, a lot of plans, but I want them to suffer financially for each one that goes wrong. Because you set up this huge electric fence with hundreds of thousands of watts running through it. The Gamera just gets through in a second. You get the whole army out there. You get the nuclear base that's being destroyed. They're about to nuke him, and one of our lead dudes is just like, no, let's hold off. Let's not do that. How much money was wasted because of that little expedition there?
Tokyo's financial systems is in ruins right now.
If you're creating a space, like, it takes enough money to make a spaceship as is, let alone one that can carry a 200-foot tall turtle.
And like, it wasn't everyone struggling with the destruction Gamera's causing. It wasn't everyone struggling. So of course, everyone will be fine with putting their money together to invent a spaceship. It's just like, we already invented one. We just had it there just in case, just to play around with.
Next to huge jets of fire. They were already there.
Private island, just for scientific endeavors.
You don't have one of these private islands?
Dude, I wish. I'll get into some trivia, right?
Yeah,
some
give it to me, dude.
Because even though people say Daiei, like, they came up with Gamera because they wanted a competitor for Godzilla, it wasn't specifically originally supposed to be Gamera. It wasn't supposed to be a movie about a giant turtle. And I don't know if you're going to believe this, Micah, but it was originally supposed to be a movie about giant kaiju rats.
Rats plural?
Rats. It was going to be called Nezura. And it was a movie about giant rats overrunning Japan.
Man, I bet it would have had a great theme song.
Yo.
The Rats song?
The Rats song for Nezura. But they were trying to make these kaiju rats using stop motion, mechanical props, suitmation, but none of it really worked. And they ended up trying to use live rats crawling over miniature cities.
Oh, that would have been great.
But the rats were wild, super uncooperative, and they found out they were all infested with fleas. So due to that, the health department got involved and they completely shut the project down, Nezura.
That would have been awesome. Like, imagine these sets with these giant flea-infested rats crawling.
I know.
I get it.
I know. It would have been crazy.
Mr. Health Inspector, I get it. I understand.
But Mr. Health Inspector, just imagine. Rats. Tokyo Tower.
Tokyo Tower being climbed. Oh.
Giant fleas, even. Imagine seeing those things.
You forget about the sea louse.
But the director of Nezura, Noriaki, quickly came up with the idea to make Gamera instead with the kind of equipment that they'd gotten already for this Rats movie. So facing a tight budget, tight schedule, he was working with these faulty props and outdated equipment and from skepticism from everyone else who was working on the Rats production. They cobbled together this Gamera movie. And it was just a terrible production. The flying Gamera prop burnt through heaps and heaps of wires. It would crash often. For the Arctic sequences at the start, ice was delivered like en masse altogether, and it was quickly melting before they could film with it. No. So it caused the whole production to be delayed while sets were getting flooded. And there was even a point where the director was going to turn to Tsuburaya Productions to help finish the movie, which was E.G. Tsuburaya, who did special effects for the Godzilla movies. But they didn't do that in the end. And Yuasa, the director, was committed to completing this film using just Daiei's, what they had on hand, which caused it, again, to be filmed in black and white because it was old equipment. But it's crazy. Like, it wasn't just supposed to be a Godzilla ripoff. It was meant to be a kaiju movie about rats in the vein of Godzilla that they had to pivot to make about a giant turtle.
Yeah. All credit to the movie. I don't think it shows that much that it was made under so much stress at the time.
No, it doesn't, right? It seems like quite a fully formed, albeit a bit messy, monster movie. But yeah, it's interesting reading all that because I wouldn't call it a Godzilla ripoff. I would call it kind of like quite inventive that they managed to cobble this story together in the wake of the rats.
The rats. They'll be back one day.
But yeah, the director also wanted to make Gamera in this first movie very protective towards children because of his own challenging childhood he had in World War II.
Oh, was he Toshio? Did he bring his little peewee turtle into war?
I don't think it was that cute. It was more so like children in Japan would put their trust in the teachers during World War II.
Okay.
And they had teachers who were Japanese nationalists and were all for Japan. And then they abruptly abandoned those beliefs after Japan's defeat. And the director shares how like one of his teachers went from switching between nationalism to communism. And the children had a very hard time having faith in parents and teachers who were constantly changing their politics and changing the way they would act depending on the climate.
Weird, okay.
So it's very weird, but because of children's distrust in kind of authority figures, it influenced him to make someone for children to put their trust in, and he chose Gamera, the giant turtle.
Gamera, the icon for so many children around the world.
This was created in the wake of a terrible production about giant rats, and he pivoted towards, hey, I'm going to make a giant turtle that kids can trust.
Otherwise, it would have been the giant rats that the kids could trust.
Exactly.
No, I really hope that they lean into that a little bit more in the next movie.
Me too.
Because it would be awesome to see him come into his full fruition, into his role as the actual guardian of the universe of the children.
And I think that's where they will make it different enough from Godzilla and come into their own if they really lean into that, right? I just have a couple things here. Again, we've already been over it, but it achieved huge commercial success and it kickstarted Daiei to make more and more monster movies. I'm really excited into seeing what they come up with. But Mike, I thought you'd appreciate this, and also Ismail would appreciate this. Our pal from Real Latinos. Filmmaker Guillermo del Toro names the original Gamera film, this movie, as one of his favorite monster movies ever.
Ah, that's awesome.
There we go.
Guillermo.
Gamera has a fan in Guillermo.
I feel like Guillermo would make a great Gamera movie.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Gamera's in Pacific Rim too.
I think, Gamera is mentioned in Pacific Rim 2, which Guillermo didn't make. It's still cool.
And just because it's the first episode with Gamera, if you're not aware, Jaysha, Gamera comes from the Japanese term for turtle, kame.
Yeah.
And because you have so many monsters, Gojira, Mothra with Ra at the end of their name, it's like Kamera.
Yeah.
In Pacific Rim.
You're looking up Pacific Rim. Yeah, I think he's on the monitor in one of the, there's like Gigan on the monitor, Gamera on the monitor, a whole lot of different monsters.
Oh, there's actually a lot of Gamera villains there as well.
Really?
You have Giron, Barugon. Man, this is awesome.
We need to cover Pacific Rim Uprising.
We'll get around to it. We'll get around to
it. But I guess, should we go into final thoughts for Gamera, the giant monster? Micah, can you tell me what you thought about this movie and how many turtles you would bring to school for Gamera, the giant monster?
I enjoyed it. I think that, it's going to be hard coming into a series like this, starting it off. We're big Godzilla fans, so we're going to be a little bit biased towards that. I felt like this didn't reach the heights that I was expecting from the first movie of like a really loved franchise. In a lot of ways, it copies a lot of what Godzilla does. But that being said, I think it's a fair enough storyline. A lot of it is just your classic rampaging kaiju, what can we do to defeat it? But especially near the end, it puts in a little few things which make it a bit funner to watch and flesh out the character of Gamera. I love the fact that he's a turtle. I love the fact that he's this flippin' fiery meteorite that just spins around in the sky.
Do you like his eyes?
I do like his eyes. I don't know what's up with his eyes.
They move and they dart around like constantly.
Yeah. Like there's enough to differentiate it, and I really love that final product that they come across with. And I'm really, really hoping we see much more hijinks with kids as time goes on. There's a special place in my heart for Godzilla movies with kids, and Gamera might take that place.
Whoa.
But that being said, I don't think I'd bring that many turtles to school. Maybe like 2.5. 2 turtles and a baby turtle.
Okay. You can't trust your teachers, so you're going to bring 2 turtles and a baby turtle to school to trust.
Yep. I'll still chat with a couple of my classmates, but for the most part, I'm hanging out with those 3.
Nice. Yeah, I feel the same as you. Like, I was still blown away by the destruction and the pillars of fire. There's scenes it cuts to, which must be stock footage of just like explosions going off in the wake of Gamera's destruction. And it's unfortunate because a lot of those scenes, like Gamera's not even in the shot. And I do wish that we just got more bombastic special effects stuff with Gamera actually doing it, because we get him pushing over Tokyo Tower. We get him pushing over a few big pillars at the nuclear plant. But it's not really like groundbreaking things. It's not stuff I haven't seen before. And I feel like this film just slows down so much between the big moments.
Yeah, it starts to get a bit of momentum and then it stops it.
Yeah.
Builds it back up and then it stops it again.
And it stops it. But the finale was awesome, man. The finale, which goes to this Z plan, which we as viewers know nothing about. And we're watching them like lure Gamera in with fire. And then the typhoon puts out the fire. And so they need to set a bonfire. But then the typhoon starts putting out the bonfire. But then the volcano goes off.
Erupts.
And then it all turns into them sending him to space. The finale of this was really fun. I loved the kid. But again, it doesn't feel inventive. It just feels like a copy of so many things that we've seen before and so many different films that were out in Japan at the time.
Like, as weird as it is to say, it does just feel like another kaiju movie.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it's just not stand out enough to be anything better than that. But out of my 5 turtles that I own, I'm going to bring 3 of them to school.
Oh, what are the names?
Picodon.
Gotta have Picodon there.
Kappa? Franklin. Picodon, Kappa, and Franklin are my turtles I'm bringing to school. I still enjoyed this overall, but it's just nothing special, and I can't wait till we get into some of the more beloved Gamera films, and then especially the Heisei era, which people say are like some of the best monster movies ever.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that most, if not all of those movies are like better than most of Godzilla's.
Yeah.
So the hype is real.
The hype is very real, and the journey has begun. And we would love to hear what you guys thought. Again, this episode, just because we're recording it early, we don't have any reviews to spotlight. But going forward with all of these movies, would love you guys to watch along with us. Have a little movie club each week where you watch through Gamera and send in your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. So podzillapod@gmail.com. Jump in our Discord, link in the show notes to join our community. We're going to be doing some Gamera watch parties.
We've had a Gamera channel in the server for so long. It hasn't been used that much, but this is really going to drum up some participation there.
It's going to kickstart it. But next week, Mike, before Gamera's Heisei era,
I know what's coming. We're going back to like OG Podzilla days.
We're going back to our Podzilla roots and covering the Gamera Americanization.
Boy.
Gamera the Invincible, which has 2 M's in Gamera's name now for some reason.
Real gam.
Maybe it's Gamera.
Maybe it's Gamera.
Maybe it's pronounced Gamera.
Because that is essentially going to be the first Gamera movie. Send in your reviews for the first one, whichever version of it you saw.
Exactly. We'll cover off any reviews about Gamera. Apparently, Gamera the Invincible adds in just like the other Americanizations when they added Steve Martin, the American reporter, in.
Yeah, I'm imagining so many more conference scenes.
Yeah, a lot of American guys speaking in boardrooms, and I'm just hoping they're better actors than the Americans we saw in this.
I wonder if we get like a Steve Martin character who will follow on through a few different movies.
I think this is the only Americanization.
Oh, thank goodness.
There were American releases and re-edits, but none of them added in whole scenes like this one did. So, guys, the Gamera journey has begun. Join us for Gamera the Invincible next week.
It's going to be a great time. And hey, in the meantime, feel free to leave us a rating on whatever platform you're listening to us on.
Yeah.
If you can write a review, man, chuck a review out there. Helps out the show, helps us a lot.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar, I mean, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Podzilla. We do bonus episodes every week, and it's for a real cheap price of, I think, $5, $3 a month. But additionally on there, and probably like the main amount of content we put on there, is actually that we release these episodes, the episode you're listening to every week, but in an uncut, unedited, extended version. So there's little bits and pieces that we cut out of these episodes on the main feed, but you can get them in all their glory over on our Patreon. You can hear all Micah's mouth noises that are removed, me stuffing up so many pronunciations of Japan actors, directors' names.
If you want to hear the house next to us getting broken into
during recording,
man.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff there. So we appreciate you guys' support, and we can't wait for season 4 of Podzilla, the best season yet, potentially, that doesn't even have most Godzilla content in it.
Yeah, I love this old GeForce tape that says Gamera, the giant monster, and this one next to it, fully rubbed out, Gamera.
Mike, do you hold up before do you see that out our little? Is that a window? What would you call it out in space?
Porthole? Space porthole?
A space window? Do you see that out our space window there? A little.
That meteorite?
Will-o'-the-wisp or something off in the distance. We'll have to investigate that.
You're hallucinating, mate.
I'm hallucinating. I'm an old Japanese drunk man.
You're hallucinating, you're old gapper.
I'm just out. That scene in this movie of the drunk Japanese guy who's just...
Oh, there's nothing like drunk Japanese homeless people in movies.
They've got no lighting team in this movie. I can hardly make it out. Daiei, what are you doing?